Marcus Chen stood under the hot water and closed his eyes. His muscles ached from 12 hours of welding on the orbital shipyard. Steam filled the small bathroom of his tiny apartment. This was the only peaceful moment in his entire day. Then the air rippled. Marcus opened his eyes and froze. A woman stood directly in front of him in the shower. She appeared out of nowhere, like magic. But she was not human. Her skin was silver and covered with glowing patterns that pulsed with soft blue light. Her eyes were deep, violet, and too large for a human face. Pointed ears rose from beneath white hair that seemed to move on its own. She wore a tight suit made of material that looked like liquid metal. She looked Marcus up and down slowly. Her violet eyes studied him like he was an interesting insect. Then she smirked. Marcus screamed and grabbed his towel. He jumped out of the shower and pressed himself against the bathroom wall. Water dripped everywhere. "What the hell?" he shouted. "Who are you? How did you get in here?" The alien woman stepped calmly out of his shower. She did not seem bothered by anything. Her smirk grew wider. "I am Lyra of the Velith Consortium," she said. Her voice had a musical quality that sounded wrong coming from her mouth. "I am a dimensional scientist, and I will be staying here." "Staying? No, get out." Marcus pointed at the door. His hand shook. Lyra walked past him into his living room. She looked around at his apartment with obvious amusement. She picked up his coffee mug from the morning and sniffed it. Her nose wrinkled. "Fascinating," she said. "Human dwellings are so primitive. These walls cannot even regulate temperature automatically. You cannot just appear in my shower and decide to live here. This is breaking and entering." "I did not break anything," Lyra said. She sat on his couch without asking. "And I did not enter through your door. I teleported. Completely different." She pulled a small device from her belt. It looked like a crystal wrapped in copper wire. Sparks jumped between the wires. She frowned at it and shook it gently. "My dimensional anchor is damaged," she explained. "I attempted to teleport to the science station on Mars. Instead, I appeared in your shower. The device now locks onto this location. I cannot leave this building until I repair it." Marcus stared at her. His brain tried to process what was happening. An alien in his apartment, refusing to leave. "Call someone," he said. "Call your people. They can come get you." Lyra's smirk faded slightly. "That is not possible. My people exiled me. I work alone now, and I will call security," Marcus said. He grabbed his communication pad from the table. Lyra yawned. She actually yawned at him. Marcus called building security. He explained that an intruder was in his apartment. 2 guards arrived within minutes. They burst through the door with stun weapons ready. The living room was empty except for Marcus. "Sir, where is the intruder?" the first guard asked. She was right here on the Marcus turned. Lyra was gone. He started to say. "Have you been drinking, Mr. Chen?" the second guard asked. She sniffed the air. "Taking any medications?" "No, she was real. She is an alien who teleported into my shower." The guards looked at each other. They looked at Marcus and his towel. They clearly thought he was crazy. "Get some rest, sir," the first guard said slowly. "If you see anything else unusual, call us again." They left. Marcus stood alone in his living room. Had he imagined it? Was he losing his mind from too much work? "That was entertaining," Lyra's voice said behind him. Marcus spun around. She stood in his bedroom doorway, still smirking. "How did I teleported to your sleeping chamber when they arrived," she said. "Primitive security cannot detect dimensional shifts. Your species barely understands 3 dimensions." Marcus felt anger replace his shock. "You need to leave now. I do not care about your broken device. Find somewhere else to fix it." "No," Lyra said simply. She walked to his kitchen and opened his cooling unit. She studied the contents with scientific interest. "I have analyzed 17,000 locations in this city. Your dwelling has the lowest electromagnetic interference. It is optimal for my repairs." "I do not care about optimal," Marcus shouted. "This is my home. You cannot just take it over." Lyra pulled out a container of his leftovers. She opened it and sniffed. Her face showed disgust. "You eat deceased animal flesh that has been thermally processed," she said. "How are humans not extinct?" She put the container back. She closed the cooling unit. Then she walked to his couch and sat down again. She crossed her legs and folded her hands in her lap. She looked at him with those two large violet eyes. "I require 48 of your hours to complete repairs," she said. "During this time, I will study human domestic behavior. You are my first human subject. You should feel honored." "Subject?" Marcus felt his face getting hot. "I am not a subject. You are in my home without permission." "Your concept of permission is culturally specific," Lyra said. She picked up his remote control and examined it. "The Velith do not recognize individual territorial claims. All space belongs to all people." "You are on Earth now," Marcus said. "And on Earth, this is my apartment. I pay for it. It is mine." Lyra pressed a button on the remote. His television turned on to a nature documentary. She watched with fascination as images of whales filled the screen. "Remarkable," she whispered. "Your planet has massive aquatic fauna." Marcus grabbed the remote from her hand and turned off the television. "Listen to me," he said firmly. "You cannot stay here. I work long hours. I need my privacy. I need my space. You have to find somewhere else." Lyra stood up. For the first time, her smirk disappeared. She looked directly into his eyes. Her violet gaze seemed to see through him. "I have nowhere else," she said quietly. "I am alone in this dimension. My people cast me out. I have no ship, no crew, no home. I have only my research and this broken device." For a moment, Marcus saw something in her eyes. Something behind the arrogance and the smirk. Loneliness, fear. Then the smirk returned. "Besides," she said, "I already scanned your brain patterns while you slept after I arrived. You are not dangerous. Merely exhausted and socially isolated. We are compatible roommates. You scanned my brain?" Marcus felt dizzy. "When I slept. I was awake. I just got home." "You fell asleep standing in the shower 17 seconds before I arrived," Lyra said. "Humans require more rest than you typically receive. Your species is inefficient." She walked back to the couch and lay down. She closed her eyes. "I will rest now," she said. "Your sun's cycle is ended. We will discuss living arrangements in the morning." Marcus stood in his living room in a towel. An alien woman was sleeping on his couch. His life had completely fallen apart in less than an hour. He looked at Lyra. Her glowing patterns had dimmed to a soft pulse. She looked almost peaceful. 40-8 hours, he thought. He could survive 48 hours. He went to his bedroom and locked the door. He put a chair against it for good measure. Then he collapsed on his bed. Tomorrow he would figure this out. Tomorrow he would find a way to make her leave. But as he fell asleep, he could not stop thinking about the loneliness he had seen in her violet eyes. Maybe they were not so different after all. She teleported into my shower, looked me over. Smirked and refused to leave ## Part 2, unwelcome roommate Marcus woke. To the sound of his smoke alarm screaming, he jumped out of bed and ran to the kitchen. Smoke poured from his cooking unit. Lyra stood in front of it, calmly watching flames leap from a pan. She held his cooking manual in one hand. Her face showed more curiosity than concern. "What are you doing?" Marcus shouted. He grabbed the fire suppression canister and sprayed foam everywhere. The flames died. The smoke alarm continued its awful noise. "I am preparing morning nutrition," Lyra said. She looked at the black mess in the pan. "Your instructions were unclear. It said heat the egg until solid. I applied heat. It became very solid." Marcus turned off the smoke alarm. His neighbors were already pounding on the walls. Mr. Rodriguez next door shouted something angry in Spanish. "You cannot cook," Marcus said. He looked at his kitchen. She had rearranged everything. His cups were where his plates used to be. His utensils were organized by size instead of type. Nothing was where it should be. "I optimized your storage system," Lyra said proudly. "It now follows logical efficiency patterns." "You are welcome. I did not ask you to reorganize my kitchen. Marcus felt his morning headache starting early. And you definitely did not ask permission. Permission again, Lyra sighed. Your species is obsessed with permission. The Velith simply act. We do not waste time with endless requests. Marcus took a deep breath. He counted to 10. It did not help. I need to get ready for work, he said. Please do not touch anything else while I am gone. I will accompany you, Lyra announced. She smiled that same smirk from yesterday. Absolutely not, Marcus said. 30 minutes later, Marcus sat in the morning meeting at the orbital shipyard. His boss, Director Hammond, was explaining the problems with the new fusion drive installation. Marcus tried to focus. He tried to ignore the fact that Lyra was standing invisible right next to him. He could not see her, but he could feel her presence. The air felt different where she stood. It made his skin tingle. The power couplings keep failing, Hammond said. We have lost 3 weeks of work. Does anyone have ideas? Marcus started to speak. Then Lyra appeared. She simply materialized in the middle of the conference room. 1 second, nothing. Next second, an alien woman with silver skin and glowing patterns standing on the table. 6 people screamed. Director Hammond fell backward out of his chair. Jenkins from engineering threw his coffee mug. It bounced off Lyra's shoulder. She did not even blink. Your coupling design is flawed, Lyra said. She pointed at the projection on the wall. You are using linear power distribution. Fusion drives require spiral distribution to manage plasma flow. Observe. She pulled out her damaged device. With a few movements of her fingers, she created a hologram in the air. It showed a completely different coupling design. The mathematics flowed around it in symbols Marcus had never seen before. This is the correct method, Lyra said. Your species will understand it in approximately 40 years at your current development rate. I am saving you time. Director Hammond stared with his mouth open. His face had gone very pale. Marcus, he whispered. Why is there an alien in our meeting? It is complicated, Marcus said. He felt his career ending in real time. She followed me, he added weakly. I am Lyra, she said. I am living with Marcus temporarily. Your primitive technology intrigued me. Now I have fixed it. You are welcome. She looked at Marcus. Human breakfast was unsuccessful. We should return home and attempt lunch preparation. Then she disappeared again. Simply vanished, like she was never there. The room stayed silent for 10 full seconds. Chen Hammond said slowly, My office. Now. Marcus spent the next hour explaining. Hammond called security. Security called the government. The government called scientists. Everyone had questions. Marcus had very few answers. Finally, they let him go back to work. But they assigned 6 guards to follow him. They wanted to meet Lyra again. Marcus just wanted to disappear. He found her back in his apartment. She had reorganized his bookshelf. She sat reading one of his engineering manuals. She looked up when he entered. Why are you angry? She asked. I solved their problem. Cannot just appear at my work. Marcus threw his bag on the floor. You cannot teleport into meetings and give people heart attacks. Your Director Hammond's cardiac system is functioning normally, Lyra said. I scanned him. No heart attack occurred. That is not the point. Marcus paced back and forth. You do not understand human society? You cannot do whatever you want. There are rules. There are boundaries. Rules are limitations created by limited thinking, Lyra said. She closed the book. The Velith do not waste energy on such things. Well, you are not with the Velith anymore. Marcus stopped pacing. He looked at her. You are here. On Earth? Living in my apartment. And if you want to stay, you need to follow our rules. Lyra's smirk faded. Her glowing patterns flickered. I did not choose exile, she said quietly. I was forced out because I questioned our way. Because I felt emotions when I should not. Because I wanted to explore beyond what was permitted. She stood and walked to the window. She looked out at the city below. I thought humans would be different, she continued. I thought you valued freedom and individuality, but you also have your rules, your permissions, your boundaries. Marcus felt his anger cooling. He sat on the couch. It is not about control, he said more gently. It is about respect. When you teleport into my shower, or reorganize my kitchen, or appear at my work, you are not respecting me. You are treating me like I do not matter. Lyra turned from the window. She tilted her head like a confused bird. Respect, she repeated. The Velith do not have this word. Explain.
Arx thought about it.
How do you explain respect to someone who has never experienced it? It means treating others as important, he said. It means asking before you take. It means thinking about how your actions affect other people. Inefficient, Lyra said. But she said it without the smirk. She said it like she was thinking. Maybe, Marcus agreed. But it is how we live together without hurting each other. Lyra walked back to the couch. She sat down next to him, not touching but closer than before. I do not wish to hurt you, she said. You are the first being in 3 cycles who has not tried to capture me or kill me. When I teleported randomly to escape my hunters, I appeared in your shower. You screamed, but you did not attack. You were afraid, but you listened. Hunters. Marcus felt a cold weight in his stomach. Someone is hunting you. Lyra nodded. Her patterns pulsed faster, shifting to orange and red. My research threatens powerful interests, she said. The Velith Consortium wants my dimensional technology, but also the Krell Empire, the Human Colonial Authority, and 6 other factions. My exile was not mercy. It was a death sentence. Why did you not tell me this yesterday? Marcus asked. Would you have let me stay if you knew danger follows me? Lyra looked at him with those violet eyes. Marcus opened his mouth to answer. Then he stopped. Would he have? Probably not. Before he could respond, his apartment window exploded inward. 3 figures in black armor crashed through. They carried weapons that hummed with energy. Red targeting lasers painted Marcus's chest. Lyra of the Velith Consortium, the lead figure said. Surrender the dimensional research. Come quietly, or the human dies. Lyra stood slowly. Her hands began to glow with the same blue light as her patterns. You found me faster than expected, she said calmly. Impressive tracking. We followed the dimensional signature from your broken anchor, the hunter said. Now give us the data. Lyra looked at Marcus. In her eyes he saw real fear, real regret. I am sorry, she whispered. I should not have stayed. Then she grabbed Marcus's hand. The world twisted sideways. Colors ran together like wet paint. His stomach flipped completely over. When reality snapped back into place, they stood in a dark corridor. Metal walls surrounded them. The air smelled like oil and ozone. Where are we? Marcus gasped. The shipyard maintenance tunnels, Lyra said. They cannot track us here. Too much interference from the fusion cores. Yes. They found your apartment, Marcus said. His mind was racing. They will come back. I cannot go home. No, Lyra agreed. You cannot. I have made you a target. Marcus looked at her. Her patterns flickered with colors he had not seen before. Dark purple. Almost black. She looked smaller somehow. Less confident? Why did you save me? He asked. Lyra met his eyes. Because you showed me respect? Because you listened when I explained? Because in 2 days, you treated me more kindly than my entire species did in 20 cycles? Her smirk was completely gone. She just looked tired and scared and alone. I am sorry I involved you in this, she said. I will repair my device faster. I will leave. You can return to your life. Marcus thought about his tiny apartment. His lonely job. His empty life of work and sleep and nothing else. He thought about the fear in Lyra's eyes when she said she had nowhere to go. How long do the repairs actually take? He asked. Unknown, Lyra admitted. The damage is severe. Perhaps 3 days. Perhaps 7. Perhaps then we have work to do, Marcus interrupted. We need to hide. We need supplies. And you need to teach me about dimensional technology. Lyra stared at him. You are helping me? Even though hunters will pursue you now? You saved my life, Marcus said. And besides, nobody reorganizes my kitchen and gets away with it. We are going to survive this. Then you are going to put everything back where it belongs. For the first time, Lyra smiled instead of smirked. It was a real smile. Small and uncertain, but genuine. Respect, she said softly. I think I am beginning to understand. Somewhere above them, alarms started blaring. The hunters had found the shipyard. She teleported into my shower, looked me over. Smirked and refused to leave. Part 3. Unexpected alliance. The maintenance tunnels of the orbital shipyard were dark and cold. Marcus led Lyra deeper into the maze of corridors. His work badge gave him access to areas most people never saw. Right now, that knowledge might keep them alive. They're scanning the facility, Lyra said. She held her damaged device in front of her. Its crystals pulsed weakly. My anchor is leaking dimensional energy. They will track us eventually. How long do we have? Marcus asked. He stopped at an intersection and checked his handheld map. Unknown. Perhaps hours. Perhaps minutes. Lyra's patterns flickered between blue and orange. Marcus was learning to read her colors. Orange meant fear. This way, Marcus said. He turned left down a narrow passage. There is an old storage section. It is shielded because of the reactor proximity. Maybe that will hide your signal. They ran through the tunnels. Emergency lights cast red shadows on the metal walls. In the distance, Marcus heard boots hitting metal floors. The hunters were spreading through the shipyard. In here. Marcus pulled open a heavy door. Inside was a small room filled with old equipment and spare parts. Dust covered everything. Nobody had been here in months. Lyra entered, and Marcus sealed the door behind them. He engaged the manual locks. It would not stop the hunters for long, but it might slow them down, Marcus said. He cleared space on a workbench. Let me see the device. Lyra handed him the dimensional anchor. Up close, Marcus could see how complex it was. Crystalline structures woven through metal frameworks. Energy pathways that seemed to exist in more than 3 dimensions. His engineering training helped him recognize some principles, but most of it was beyond human science. What exactly does this do? Marcus asked. He turned it carefully in his hands. It creates a controlled tear in dimensional space, Lyra explained. She sat on a storage crate. Her violet eyes watched him examine her life's work. Normal teleportation moves matter through 3-dimensional space. My device moves through the 4th and 5th dimensions. It allows instantaneous travel across any distance. Why would that threaten anyone? Marcus asked. Lyra was quiet for a moment. Her patterns shifted to deep purple. Because it also allows access to parallel dimensions, she said softly. Other realities, other versions of our universe. The Velith Consortium wanted to use it for resource extraction. Strip mine, alternate Earths. Enslave parallel populations. Marcus stopped examining the device. He looked at her. You refused, he said. I destroyed my research rather than give it to them, Lyra confirmed. Or I thought I destroyed it. They believe I kept copies hidden in my anchor device. That is why everyone hunts me. They think I still possess the complete schematics, do you? Marcus asked. Lyra met his eyes. Yes. I encrypted it within the anchor's core crystal. If they capture me and break the encryption, they will have everything. Infinite worlds to exploit. Infinite suffering. Marcus felt the weight of what he held. This small device could change everything. Or destroy everything. Why did you keep it? He asked. Because I am not certain destruction is the right answer, Lyra admitted. Dimensional travel could also save dying worlds. Rescue populations from disaster. Unite species across reality itself. The technology is not evil. Only the intended use was evil. She stood and walked to him. She took the device from his hands gently. I have been running for so long, she said. I do not know what the right choice is anymore. I only know I will not let them use my work to cause harm. Marcus understood that feeling. The weight of knowledge. The burden of choice. We need to fix it well enough for you to escape, he said. Somewhere they cannot follow. There is nowhere they cannot follow, Lyra said. I have visited 47 worlds. They found me on every one, eventually, and we fight, Marcus said simply. Lyra laughed. It was not her usual smirk. It was a genuine laugh of disbelief. You are one human, she said. I am one exiled Velith. They have armies, ships, technology beyond your imagination. I work on an orbital shipyard, Marcus said. He pulled up his communication pad and started accessing systems. We have fusion cores, mining lasers, industrial equipment that could level mountains. And I know how all of it works. He looked at her and smiled. You have the knowledge of dimensional physics. I have the knowledge of human engineering. Maybe together, we have enough. Lyra stared at him. Her patterns cycled through colors rapidly. Confusion, hope, something else Marcus could not name. Why are you doing this? She asked quietly. You met me yesterday. I invaded your home. I destroyed your kitchen. I brought death to your door. Why not turn me over to them and return to your simple life? Marcus thought about that question. He thought about his tiny apartment, his empty evenings, his years of working alone among the stars because Earth held too many memories of people he had lost. Because you were the first person in 3 years who made me feel less alone, he said honestly. Even when you were annoying me, even when you were rearranging my kitchen, I felt less alone. And maybe I am tired of running from connection. Lyra's eyes widened. Her patterns turned soft gold. On my world, emotional attachment is considered a weakness, she said. I was taught to suppress all feeling, to value only logic and efficiency. That is why they exiled me, because I could not stop feeling, could not stop caring about the consequences of our actions. Feeling is not weakness, Marcus said. It is what makes us more than machines. An explosion rocked the storage room. Dust fell from the ceiling. The hunters had breached the outer door. They are close, Lyra said. Her device sparked in her hands. I can teleport us out, but not far. The damage limits range to perhaps 100 meters. They will track us immediately. Marcus looked around the storage room. Old equipment, spare parts, raw materials. An idea formed. Can you teleport objects without going with them? He asked. Yes, Lyra said. Why? Because I have a very stupid plan, Marcus said. He started pulling parts from shelves, and it probably will not work. But it is better than waiting here to die. 20 minutes later, 3 hunters in black armor cut through the storage room door. They entered with weapons ready. Scanning equipment beeped in their hands. The room was empty, except for old equipment and dust. Dimensional signature was strong here, the lead hunter said. They were in this room recently. Spread out. Another ordered. Check every container, every shadow. They moved through the room methodically, professional, efficient. They did not notice the small fusion core Marcus had jury-rigged to overload. They did not see the industrial magnets Lyra had teleported into position around the room. They definitely did not expect the entire section of the shipyard to lose gravity and life support simultaneously. By the time the hunters figured out, they were trapped in a depressurizing room with a bomb. Marcus and Lyra were 3 levels away. That was effective, Lyra said. They ran through another corridor. Brutal, but effective. Did not kill them, Marcus panted. Just trapped them. Security will find them eventually. You showed mercy to people hunting you, Lyra observed. Inefficient, human Marcus corrected. They reached an emergency airlock. Marcus overrode the controls with his security clearance. Beyond the door was a small spacecraft, a maintenance shuttle used for external repairs. Can you fly this? Lyra asked. I helped build half the ships in this yard, Marcus said. I can fly anything. They climbed aboard. Marcus powered up the engines. Behind them, alarms blared as shipyard security responded to the chaos. Ahead of them stretched open space. Where do we go? Lyra asked. Marcus thought about it. They needed somewhere to hide, somewhere to repair the dimensional anchor. somewhere the hunters would not think to look. "I know a place," he said. "An old research station on Europa. It was abandoned 5 years ago when funding dried up. But the fusion reactor should still work. And it is far enough from regular traffic that nobody will notice us." Europa, Lyra repeated. "The moon of Jupiter. Approximately 600 million kilometers from Earth. Will your device work that far?" Marcus asked. Lyra examined the damaged anchor. "If we can reach orbit first, I can manage short jumps. Perhaps 5 or 6 to reach Europa. It will drain the remaining power cells, but yes, it is possible." Marcus engaged the engines. The shuttle lifted smoothly from its dock. "Hold on," he said. "This is going to be rough." 3 hunter ships appeared on his sensors. They were closing fast. Marcus pushed the shuttle to maximum acceleration. G-forces pressed them back into their seats. "They are faster than us," Lyra said calmly. She watched the tactical display. "We cannot outrun them." "Not need to outrun them," Marcus said. He aimed the shuttle directly at the shipyard's main fusion reactor. "Just need to reach the safety perimeter. You are flying toward the reactor." Lyra's patterns turned bright orange. "That is insane. Shipyard security will not let armed hunter ships near the reactor," Marcus explained. "Too dangerous. They will intercept them or blow them up. Either way, we slip past in the confusion." "You are gambling our lives on shipyard bureaucracy," Lyra said. "You have a better idea?" Marcus asked. She was quiet for a moment. Then she started to laugh. That same genuine laugh from earlier. "No," she admitted, "I have no better idea. Proceed with your insane human plan." Marcus dove the shuttle toward the massive reactor complex. Warning sirens filled the cockpit. Automated defenses locked onto them. Behind them, the hunter ships followed. Then shipyard security ships appeared, dozens of them. They put themselves between the hunters and the reactor. Marcus heard radio chatter demanding the hunters stand down and retreat. The hunters did not retreat. They fired on the security ships. That was their mistake. The shipyard's automated defense grid activated. Lance beams of coherent light carved through space. Missiles streaked from hidden launchers. The hunters' ships scattered, but 2 of them were hit. They tumbled away, trailing debris. Marcus used the chaos to break away. He fired the shuttle's emergency boosters and shot past the combat zone. Behind them, Europa's orbit calculations loaded into the navigation computer. "We are clear," he said. "Jumping to first waypoint in 10 seconds." Lyra closed her eyes. She held the dimensional anchor close to her chest. Her patterns pulsed with effort. "Ready," she whispered. Marcus felt reality bend around them. Colors inverted. His stomach dropped into his feet. Then they were somewhere else. The stars had shifted. Jupiter was closer, larger. "For more jumps," Lyra said. Her voice was strained. "I can manage for more." Each jump was worse than the last. By the 5th one, Lyra's patterns had gone almost black. She was exhausted. Marcus could see pain in her eyes, but they made it. The old research station orbited Europa like a dying satellite. Its lights were dark. Its corridors were silent, but it was shelter. Marcus docked the shuttle. They stumbled inside. The station's emergency power activated. Dim lights flickered on. Life support wheezed to life. Lyra collapsed against a wall. Her device was dark. No pulses. No sparks. She looked at Marcus with tired eyes. "We made it," she said. "We made it," Marcus agreed. He sat down next to her. They both stared at nothing. Too exhausted to move, too relieved to speak. Finally, Lyra turned her head to look at him. "Thank you," she said, "for not leaving me, for fighting when running would have been safer, for being kind when you had every reason not to be." Marcus smiled. "You reorganized my kitchen. You're in this together now, whether you like it or not." Lyra's smirk returned. Weak, but there. "I am beginning to understand human humor," she said. "It is still inefficient, but less irritating than before." They sat together in the dim light of the abandoned station. Outside the window, Europa turned slowly. Jupiter filled half the sky. The hunters were far behind them. For now, they were safe. For now, they could rest. She teleported into my shower, looked me over, smirked and refused to leave Part 4. Breaking barriers, the research station creaked and groaned around them. Marcus worked on restoring main power, while Lyra examined her dimensional anchor under a portable light. 3 days had passed since their escape to Europa. 3 days of quiet work and careful conversation. Marcus had learned things about her. Small things she hummed while she worked. A sound with no melody, just vibration to help her think. She did not need much sleep. 4 hours every 2 days was enough for Violeth biology. She had 17 visible patterns on her skin, but hundreds more that only appeared under certain emotional states. The primary crystal is fractured, Lyra said. She did not look up from her work. I can repair the fracture, but it will limit functionality. No more long-range jumps. Perhaps 5 kilometers maximum range. Will that be enough to escape? Marcus asked. He reconnected a power coupling and the lights brightened slightly. Escape to where? Lyra asked. I told you. There is nowhere they will not find me eventually. Marcus climbed down from the power junction. He walked to where she sat at a workbench. Tools and components surrounded her like the pieces of an impossible puzzle. Tell me about the Velith, he said. Your home, your people. Lyra's patterns flickered. She set down the delicate crystal she was holding. Why do you want to know? She asked. Because you know about humans, Marcus said. You studied us, read our books, learned our language. But I know nothing about you, except that your people exiled you. Lyra was quiet for a long moment. Her fingers traced patterns on the workbench. Finally, she spoke. The Velith are old, she said. We achieved dimensional travel 3,000 years before humans left Earth. We built an empire across 17 star systems. It became powerful, efficient, perfect. Perfect sounds lonely, Marcus observed. Lyra looked at him with surprise in her violet eyes. Yes, she agreed softly. Perfect is very lonely. We removed emotion from our culture, declared it weakness. Children are raised in educational facilities, no families, no attachments. We learn, we work, we serve the consortium. That is all. Oh, but you felt emotions anyway, Marcus said. I did, Lyra confirmed. From childhood I felt things I should not feel. Joy, when I solved problems. Sadness, when I saw suffering. Anger at injustice. I learned to hide it, to pretend, but eventually they discovered the truth. She picked up the crystal again, but did not work on it, just held it. My dimensional research was brilliant, she continued. They wanted to use it. I refused. I told them I felt it was wrong to exploit other dimensions. The consortium does not tolerate that word, wrong. It implies moral judgment, emotion, weakness. So they exiled you, Marcus said. They gave me a choice, Lyra corrected. Submit to emotional suppression therapy or leave. The therapy would have erased who I am, made me like them. Empty, efficient, perfect. Her patterns turned dark purple, almost black. I chose exile, she said. I chose to feel. Even if feeling meant being alone. Even if it meant running forever. Could not give up the part of me that made me care. Marcus sat down on the floor next to her bench. He looked up at her face. Saw the loneliness there, the same loneliness he carried. I lost my family 5 years ago, he said. Shuttle accident on Mars. My wife and daughter were visiting the colony when the reactor failed. 300 people died, including everyone I loved. Lyra's patterns shifted to soft blue. The color Marcus was learning meant sympathy. I am sorry, she said. I left Earth after that, Marcus continued. Took a job on the orbital shipyard. Worked alone, lived alone. I told myself it was better that way, safer. If you do not let people close, they cannot hurt you when they leave. But also, they cannot help you when you need help, Lyra said quietly. Yes, Marcus agreed. I forgot that part. Until you appeared in my shower and refused to leave. Lyra smiled, not her usual smirk. A real smile. You were very upset about the shower incident, she said. You appeared while I was naked and vulnerable, Marcus said. And then you smirked. I apologize for the smirk, Lyra said. I was frightened, lone, lost. The smirk was armor. Pretending confidence I did not feel. I understand armor, Marcus said. I wore mine for 5 years. They sat in comfortable silence. Outside the window, Europa's icy surface reflected Jupiter's light. Inside the station, the recycled air hummed through vents. Two broken people in an abandoned place, finding something neither expected. Marcus, Lyra said slowly. If I complete the repairs, if I can leave, would you come with me? Marcus looked at her with surprise. Come with you where? Anywhere, Lyra said. Everywhere. I have dimensional technology. We could visit worlds humans have never seen, explore reality itself. You have engineering knowledge. I have dimensional physics. Together, we could do remarkable things. The hunters would follow us, Marcus said. Probably, Lyra agreed. But they would follow me regardless. At least this way I would not be alone. At least this way you would not be hiding from life on a shipyard. Marcus thought about it, leaving everything. Running through dimensions with an alien woman he met 4 days ago? It was insane. It was also the most alive he had felt in 5 years. Let me think about it, he said. Before Lyra could respond, alarms screamed through the station. Marcus jumped to his feet and ran to the sensor console. What he saw made his blood freeze. 3 ships just appeared in orbit, he said. Hunter, configuration, they found us. It's impossible, Lyra said. She grabbed her device and checked its readings. The anchor is completely dormant. No dimensional signature. No energy emissions. They should not have been able to track us. Then how did they know? Marcus asked. The communication system crackled to life. A voice filled the station. Cold, mechanical. Lyra of the Velith Consortium. This is Commander Krell of the Hunter Fleet. We tracked your shuttle's ion trail across 600 million kilometers. Your hiding place is surrounded. Surrender the dimensional research, and the human will be spared. Refuse, and we destroy the station, with both of you inside. Lyra's patterns flashed bright red. Anger. Real anger. They lied, she said. They said they would not harm you if I surrendered. They always lie. I need to run, Marcus said. Started calculating escape routes on the console. The shuttle is still fueled. If we launch now, we might reach the ice caves on Europa's surface before they can fire. Running will not work, Lyra said. She was staring at her device. They will destroy us from orbit. Cannot run fast enough. Then we fight, Marcus said. The station has mining lasers. Old but functional. We get 3 ships against 2 people in a research station? Lyra shook her head. That is not a fight. That is suicide. Marcus felt desperation rising. They were trapped, outgunned, out of options. Then what do we do? He asked. Lyra looked at him. Her violet eyes were calm now, determined. You take the shuttle and go, she said. I will surrender. Give them the research. They will be too busy with me to pursue you. You can make it back to the shipyard. Back to your life. No, Marcus said immediately. Absolutely not. Marcus, be logical. I am done with logic, Marcus shouted. Logic kept me alone for 5 years. Logic says you are just an alien I met by accident. Logic says I should save myself and let you face this alone. He grabbed her shoulders, made her look at him. But I am not leaving you, he said firmly. We survive this together or not at all. That is my choice. That is my decision. And you do not get to make it for me. Lyra stared at him. Her patterns cycled through a dozen colors. Confusion, fear, something warm that Marcus had never seen before. You are being inefficient, she whispered. I am being human, Marcus said. The station shook. The hunters were firing warning shots. 30 seconds until we destroy the station, Commander Krell's voice announced. Surrender now, or die together. Your choice. Marcus looked around the station desperately. They needed a miracle. They needed something the hunters would not expect. They needed his eyes fell on the dimensional anchor. Lyra, he said slowly, you said the device can access parallel dimensions. Other realities? Yes, she said. But without repairs it cannot. What if we did not try to teleport? Marcus interrupted. What if we opened a dimensional tier here, right at this location? Lyra's eyes widened. Open a tier without stabilization. That would create a dimensional vortex. It would be catastrophic. Everything within 10 kilometers would be pulled through into random dimensions, including us, including the hunter ships. But we would survive? Marcus asked. Unknown, Lyra said. We might survive. We might be torn apart. We might end up in dimensions where physics work completely differently, where we cannot breathe, cannot exist. The hunters would be destroyed, Marcus said. Yes, Lyra agreed. They would be destroyed, or scattered across infinity. Either way, they could not follow us. 20 seconds, Krell announced. Marcus and Lyra looked at each other. An insane plan. A desperate gamble. A choice between certain death and possible survival. Do it, Marcus said. Lyra grabbed the dimensional anchor. She pulled crystals from their housings, crossed wires that should never touch, overrode every safety protocol built into the device. 10 seconds, Krell said. Marcus, Lyra said. Her hands worked frantically. If we survive this, if we make it through, I need you to know something. What? Marcus asked. He held on to the workbench, preparing for whatever happened next. You are not inefficient, Lyra said. You are kind. You are brave. You are everything the Velith tried to breed out of themselves. Everything I was punished for being. 5 seconds. You make me want to be better, Marcus said. More than just a man hiding from pain. More than just surviving. 3 seconds. Lyra activated the device. It screamed. Crystals shattered. Light exploded in colors that should not exist. Reality tore open like paper. The station lurched, sideways into impossible angles. Marcus saw the hunter ships pulled toward the growing vortex. Saw them twist and compress as dimensions folded around them. Heard metal screaming as physics stopped making sense. He felt Lyra grab his hand. Felt her patterns pressing against his skin. The universe inverted. Gravity pointed in 17 directions at once. His vision split into fragments, showing him the same moment from infinite angles. Then everything went dark. When Marcus woke up, he was lying on cold metal. His entire body ached. His head felt like someone had filled it with broken glass. He opened his eyes, stared at an unfamiliar ceiling. Lights flickered above him. Different lights than the research station had. He turned his head and saw Lyra lying next to him. She was unconscious, but breathing. Her patterns pulsed weakly, gold and blue. Still alive, they were in some kind of cargo bay. Empty containers stacked against walls. A single door at the far end. They had survived. They were somewhere else. Somewhere the dimensional tier had thrown them. But where? Marcus tried to sit up. Pain shot through his ribs. Broken, probably. He ignored it and crawled to Lyra, checked her pulse. Strong and steady, Lyra, he whispered. Wake up. Her eyes fluttered open. Those violet eyes focused on him slowly, Marcus, she said. Her voice was weak. We survived? We survived, he confirmed. She smiled. That same genuine smile. Then she saw something behind him, and her smile faded. Marcus turned and saw figures in the doorway. Human figures. Wearing uniforms he recognized. Earth Colonial Marines. A woman stepped forward. She wore commander's insignia. Her face was hard but not hostile. Identify yourselves, she ordered. This is the X-Horizon. How did you appear in our cargo bay? Marcus looked at Lyra. Lyra looked at him. They both started laughing, exhausted, painful, relieved laughter. They had survived a dimensional vortex, survived hunter ships, survived the impossible, and they landed on a human military vessel. Marcus did not know if that was good luck or bad luck, but at least they were still together. At least they were still alive. Hash, she teleported into my shower, looked me over. Smirked refused to leave Hashash Part 5. Home is where the heart teleports. Commander Sarah Chen stood in the medical bay of the ECS Horizon and stared at the impossible. A human engineer from the orbital shipyard and an alien woman with glowing skin. They had appeared in her cargo bay out of nowhere. both injured, both telling a story about dimensional tiers and hunter ships that sounded completely insane, except the dimensional readings supported their story, and the woman's technology was real. "Let me understand this," Sarah said slowly. She looked at Marcus. "You are my cousin?" Marcus Chen from the shipyard. "Third cousin," Marcus confirmed. He sat on a medical bed with bandages around his ribs. "Your grandmother and my grandmother were sisters. We met at a family reunion 15 years ago," Sarah remembered. Vaguely. A quiet man who worked in space. They had talked for maybe 10 minutes before he disappeared back to his work. "And you," she turned to Lyra, "you possess dimensional technology that multiple factions want badly enough to hunt you? Across the solar system?" "That is correct," Lyra said. She sat next to Marcus. Her patterns flickered weakly. The dimensional jump had exhausted her. "My technology threatens the existing power structures. They wish to either control it or destroy it. And now you are on my ship," Sarah said. "Which means those hunters will come here next." "The dimensional vortex destroyed them," Marcus said, "or scattered them across dimensions. Either way, they cannot track us anymore. The anchor is completely dead. No signal. No trace." Sarah walked to the window. Outside, Europa floated in the distance. Behind it, Jupiter filled space with storms and power. "Command will want to debrief you both," she said. "Earth Colonial Authority will want the technology. And I'm supposed to report everything that happens on this ship." She turned back to face them. "But you are family," she said to Marcus. "And I believe your story about the hunters. So I am giving you a choice. I report this up the chain and deal with the bureaucracy. Or I claim you are refugees from a shipyard accident and give you medical treatment and a ride back to Earth. No questions. No technology transfer. No government involvement." Marcus looked at Lyra. Lyra looked at Marcus. They did not speak, but something passed between them. Understanding, trust. "The second option," Marcus said. "Please." Sarah nodded. "Then that is what we will do. But you need to hide that dimensional anchor, and she needs to be less obviously alien." "I can modify my appearance," Lyra said. Her patterns flickered and shifted. Her silver skin darkened to bronze. Her violet eyes turned brown. Her pointed ears rounded slightly. "Velith technology includes biological adaptation. I can appear human temporarily." "That is disturbing." "It is efficient," Lyra said. "She says that a lot," Marcus added. 3 days later, the ECS Horizon docked at Earth's orbital station. Marcus and Lyra walked off the ship as refugees from a research accident. No special treatment. No investigation. Just 2 people who survived something dangerous and wanted to go home. Except Marcus did not have a home anymore. His apartment had been destroyed by the hunters. Everything he owned was gone. "You can stay at my place on Earth," Sarah offered. "I have a house in Colorado. It is empty most of the time while I am on duty. Stay as long as you need." Marcus thanked her. They took a shuttle down to Earth, to a small house in the mountains. Trees surrounded it. A stream ran nearby. It was quiet and peaceful, and nothing like the shipyard or the orbital station or anywhere. Marcus had lived in 5 years. Lyra stood on the porch and looked at the mountains. Her human disguise was flawless, but Marcus could still see her real self underneath. The way she moved. The way she tilted her head when curious. "It is beautiful," she said softly. "Your Earth." "Your Earth too now," Marcus said. "If you want it to be." Lyra turned to him. Her brown eyes met his, but Marcus saw violet underneath. "I can repair the anchor," she said. "Not to full power, but enough for short jumps. Enough to leave this planet. Explore the galaxy. Find somewhere the hunters cannot reach. Alone?" Marcus asked. "No," Lyra said. "I am done being alone. I am asking you to come with me. Travel the stars. See impossible things. Live instead of hiding." Marcus walked to stand next to her. They looked at the mountains together. "I spent 5 years hiding," he said. 5 years afraid to connect with anyone. Afraid to feel anything. Then you appeared in my shower and refused to leave. And somehow, that was exactly what I needed. He turned to face her. But I am not ready to leave Earth. Not yet. I need time to heal. To process. To figure out who I am when I am not running from pain.
Iris.
Face fell. Her disguised features still showed disappointment clearly. I understand, she said quietly. You have given me so much already. Saved my life. Showed me kindness. I should not ask for more. I'm not saying no, Marcus interrupted. I am saying not yet. Stay here, on Earth, with me. We will fix your anchor together, slowly, carefully, and when we are both ready, and we have both healed, then we can decide about exploring the galaxy. Lyra stared at him. You want me to stay? Even though the danger is past? Even though you do not need me anymore? I do need you, Marcus said. Not because of hunters or technology or danger. I need you because you make me laugh. You challenge me. You show me that feeling is not weakness. That connection is not danger. He took her hand. Her disguised skin felt warm and human, but he could sense the patterns underneath. Pulsing with emotion. Stay with me, he said. Please. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. Marcus did not know Velith could cry. Maybe they could not. Maybe this was part of her human disguise. Or maybe she was changing. Learning to show emotion instead of hiding it, as she whispered. I will stay. They stood on the porch together. The Colorado wind blew through the trees. Birds sang. The stream murmured. It was peaceful and normal, and everything neither of them expected. Inside the house, they found rooms to claim. Marcus took the larger bedroom. Lyra took the smaller one, but immediately started rearranging the furniture. Some things never changed. That evening, Marcus attempted to cook dinner. He was not very good at it. 5 years of shipyard cafeteria food had destroyed his cooking skills. Lyra appeared in the kitchen doorway. She had dropped the human disguise. Her silver skin glowed softly in the fading sunlight through the window. You are burning the vegetables, she observed. I know, Marcus said. He stirred the pan uselessly. I never learned to cook properly. Neither did I, Lyra admitted. I destroyed your kitchen, attempting to learn. They looked at each other. Then they both started laughing. We're terrible at this, Marcus said. Completely inefficient, Lyra agreed. They ordered food from a delivery service instead. Ate on the porch, watching the sunset. Talked about everything and nothing. Made plans to visit the shipyard and see if Marcus still had a job. Discussed how to register Lyra as a legal Earth resident. Debated whether they should tell anyone about the dimensional technology or keep it secret. The conversation was easy, natural, like they had known each other for years instead of days. When darkness fell, they moved inside. Lyra examined the television with fascination. Marcus showed her how to use it. They watched a documentary about whales. Lyra was amazed by Earth's ocean life. Your planet is remarkable, she said. So much diversity, so much life. Velith worlds are efficient but sterile, everything controlled. Nothing wild. Wildness can be good, Marcus said. It can be beautiful, like appearing in someone's shower uninvited. Lyra asked. Her smirk was back, warm and playful. I am never going to forget that, am I? Marcus said. Never, Lyra confirmed. It is how we met. It is part of our story. Our story, Marcus thought. He liked the sound of that. Later that night, Marcus could not sleep. He went to the kitchen for water, found Lyra already there. She sat at the table with her dimensional anchor. Working on repairs by moonlight, cannot sleep? Marcus asked. Do not need much sleep, Lyra said. I wanted to examine the damage while thoughts were fresh. Marcus sat down across from her. Can it be fixed? Eventually, Lyra said. The core crystal is fractured, but not destroyed. With time and proper materials, I can restore partial function, enough to teleport short distances, enough to explore if we choose to. But not tonight, Marcus said. No, Lyra agreed. Not tonight. Tonight we are here, on Earth, safe. She set down the anchor and looked at him. Thank you, she said softly, for letting me stay. For not making me leave when you had every right to. Thank you for refusing to leave that first day, Marcus said. For being stubborn and annoying and exactly what I needed? Lyra smiled. I am still going to reorganize your kitchen. I know, Marcus sighed. I have accepted this. They sat in comfortable silence. Moonlight streamed through the window. Outside, an owl called. Inside, two broken people found something neither expected. Peace. Connection. Home. Marcus, Lyra said. The Velith have a saying. Well, they used to, before they eliminated all cultural sayings as inefficient. But it existed once. It meant that home is not a place. No. Home is the person who sees you completely and chooses to stay anyway. That is beautiful, Marcus said. You are my home, Lyra said quietly. You saw me at my worst. Saw me invade your privacy. Saw me bring danger to your life. Saw me scared and alone and broken. And you chose to stay anyway. You chose me. Marcus reached across the table and took her hand. Her patterns pulsed warm gold under his touch. You are my home too, he said. You appeared when I needed someone most. You refused to leave when I tried to push you away. Showed me that I could feel again without being destroyed by it. Lyra stood and walked around the table. She sat next to him. It's close enough that their shoulders touched. So what do we do now? She asked. Now we live, Marcus said. We heal. We learn to cook without burning the house down. We repair your dimensional anchor. We figure out what comes next. Together. Together, Lyra repeated. I like that word. They sat together in the moonlit kitchen. The dimensional anchor rested on the table between them, broken but not destroyed. Just like them, outside the mountains stood silent. Stars filled the sky above Colorado, same stars Marcus had stared at from the shipyard for 5 lonely years. The same stars Lyra had run beneath while being hunted. But tonight the stars looked different. They looked like possibility, like future. Like home, Marcus, Lyra said. She turned to look at him. Her violet eyes met his. I have been studying human customs, specifically customs related to interpersonal relationships and emotional bonding. Oh, Marcus said. Felt his heart beat faster. Yes, Lyra continued. Her pattern shifted to soft pink. Marcus had never seen that color before. There is a concept called dating, where two individuals spend time together to determine compatibility for long-term partnership. I believe we have accidentally been doing this already, but I wish to do it properly. With intention, Marcus smiled. Are you asking me on a date? I am attempting to, Lyra said. I do not know the correct human protocol. Am I doing this wrong? No, Marcus said softly. You are doing it perfectly. He leaned closer, slowly, giving her time to move away if she wanted. But she did not move away. She leaned closer to... Is this permitted in human dating customs? Lyra whispered. This closeness. Very permitted, Marcus whispered back. If both people want it. I want it, Lyra said. Their lips met. Gentle. Careful. A first kiss between a human engineer and an alien scientist. Between two lonely souls who found each other by accident and chose to stay on purpose. When they pulled apart Lyra's patterns, glowed bright gold and pink in colors Marcus had never seen. Her emotions painted across her skin like living art. That was nice, she said, inefficient for communication purposes. But very nice, Marcus laughed. You are never going to stop analyzing everything, are you? No, Lyra said. No, Lyra said. She smiled her genuine smile. Not her smirk, her real smile that she saved just for him. But I will try to analyze less and feel more. You taught me that feeling is not weakness. And you taught me that connection is not danger, Marcus said. They stayed up talking until dawn. Made terrible breakfast together. Burned toast and undercooked eggs. Laughed at their shared incompetence. Made plans for the day, for the week, for the future. When Sarah called to check on them, Marcus answered with a smile in his voice. She asked, How is your alien friend? She is doing well, Marcus said. He looked at Lyra, who was trying to operate the coffee maker and failing spectacularly. We are both doing well. Good, Sarah said. Listen, I talked to Command. Told them you were just refugees from a research accident. They bought it. But if anyone comes asking questions, Stick to that story. We will, Marcus promised. Thank you, Sarah, for everything. Family helps family, Sarah said. Even third cousins who disappear for 5 years and come back with glowing alien girlfriends. Marcus laughed. She is not my girlfriend. We just started dating. Same thing, Sarah said. Be happy, Marcus. You deserve it. After the call ended, Marcus helped Lyra with the coffee maker. They figured it out together, sat on the porch with hot coffee, and watched the morning sun paint the mountains gold. I could get used to this, Lyra said. Me too, Marcus agreed. But someday, Lyra added, when we are ready, we should explore the stars, see what is out there. Use the dimensional anchor for something good. Something that helps people instead of hurting them. Someday, Marcus agreed, but not today. Today we learn to make coffee. Tomorrow we learn to cook. Next week we register you as a citizen. Next month maybe we think about jobs. Next year maybe we think about the stars. A plan, Lyra said. Humans love plans. Do Velith not plan? Marcus asked. Velith plan for efficiency, Lyra said. Humans plan for happiness. I prefer the human way. Marcus put his arm around her shoulders. She leaned into him. Her patterns pulsed warm and content against his side. You know what is funny? Marcus said. A week ago, if someone told me I would be sitting on a porch in Colorado with an alien woman who I met when she teleported into my shower, I would have thought they were insane. And now? Lyra asked. Now I cannot imagine being anywhere else, Marcus said. Or with anyone else. Lyra smiled and looked up at him. Yes. Next time I teleport into your shower, I will bring coffee. Next time? Marcus raised an eyebrow. Planning to make a habit of it? Perhaps, Lyra said. Her smirk was back. Or perhaps next time I will be invited. No teleportation required. Marcus felt his face get warm. Maybe you will be. They sat together as morning became afternoon. Two people from different worlds, different species, different lives. Brought together by accident and choosing each other on purpose, the dimensional anchor sat inside on the kitchen table, waiting for the day they were ready to explore. It's waiting for the day they chose adventure over safety. But that day was not today. Today they chose each other, chose healing, chose home. And home was not a place, or a planet, or a dimension. Home was sitting on a porch in Colorado with someone who saw you completely and chose to stay anyway. Home was Marcus and Lyra. Together, finally found after being lost for so long, the end.